Hey, welcome to Rider Club Radio, the podcast all about Kamen Rider and like a million other shows now. I'm your host, Jeff.
And I'm Liam.
And this week we got a triple dose of Tokusatsu. We watched Kamen Rider Ghost episode 25, Animal Sentai Zyuohger episode...
8? Was it?
8?
7? 8?
I'm so bad at keeping track of numbers.
We're in the high single digits now.
The numbers go in fucking sequence and I can't keep up. We also watched Kamen Rider Amazons episode 1.
Oh boy.
So let's start with the cream of the crop, the best of the best. Let's talk about Ghost.
Let's get Ghost done with, and then we'll start enjoying the podcast. So this week on Ghost, episode 25, Alan accepts Takeru's help. He says, good, yeah, we'll go back to the Ghost world together. Oh, shit. Oh, every time we talk about Ghost, it always happens. We'll go back to the Ghost world together, we'll save Makoto. But Akari's like, hey, you're smiling. You're grinning there, Alan. What's that? Are you happy about something? What's that? Are you gonna have a special plan? Huh? And Alan's like, no, motherfucker, what are you saying to me? I'm just smiling. And she's like, no, you have an ulterior motive. I think you're dumb, Alan.
To be fair,
what?
He is dumb. But he's never smiled the entire series unless he was killing someone. So
That's true. He wants to profit off of somebody's misfortune. That's his plan. But while all this is happening, Steve Bills gets up in front of a big conference of investors and he announces a new operating system, which the name I don't remember. It's like Linux or something.
Yeah, it's Linux. That's what it is.
May I present to you Linux? He unveils a new operating system, and it's supposed to be revolutionary. And everyone's
obviously a Ganma plot to obliterate the world. It's called Windows 10.
Hey,
topical humor.
Why do you think they're forcing everyone to upgrade so hard, eh?
Topical humor. It's already out of date by the time you listen to this podcast.
Ooh, by the time it's Windows 11 is going to be out by the time this comes out. So there's a plane Ganma this time, an airplane Ganma, like an old Wright Brothers style plane.
He fucking sucks.
He looks like a fucking dumbass. And he flies around and he spreads some red gas in the air. It's Ganma atmosphere spreading through the air. And Kanon gets sick by it. She goes to the takoyaki stand with Alan again for the 16th time, and she gets sick while she's there. She's like, I can't breathe the fucking Ganma air. And Alan's like, yeah, while she was over in Ganma World, she tried to breathe the Ganma air and she couldn't, so they had to keep her inside or something, like in a basement? I don't know.
Did they say that?
Yeah, he said the air was bad for her constitution. She couldn't take it like other people.
I don't remember that. I do remember her saying, I can't breathe the fucking Ganma air, though.
Apparently she's the only one who can't breathe ghost atmosphere. Everybody else is fine. It's, I understand if you missed it, though. Usually I turn on Ghost and then I just sort of black out for 20 minutes, and then I come back when it's doing the next episode preview.
It's a little bit like being in a coma, watching Kamen Rider Ghost.
So Kanon is sick, and they're like, oh, well, we have 15 icons. We have infinite wishes. Why don't we just do that? Why don't we just wish all of our problems away always? So they bring the icons together in the basement, and when they do it, it opens a portal to the prayer room where Adele is, and a laser gets shot through the thing, and Adele seems confused. This isn't part of his plan. It's not part of anyone's plan. It gets shot through the portal into the real world, and it knocks Ghost away. And Alan was just about to do something evil because Ghost is like, alright, we'll use a wish, and then Alan was like, not so fast, motherfucker. But then he didn't get to enact the evil plan.
Akari is so fucking, like, perceptive, and she's so dangerous because of it, but she doesn't notice him hold his fucking icon up and start transforming right next to her.
He was obviously just preparing for the inevitable shockwave so he could resist it better as Necrom, and then he was going to untransform right away.
Of course.
So there's a laser, and they can't make a wish. It's a little rainbow laser, and it comes out of the portal.
It also goes into Adele, and he sees a flash of something and doesn't understand it.
He sees the laser hits him, and then he sees the laser in his eye.
Yeah, I know.
And he's like, what was that? Was that a laser? What could this portend for the future? So Javert arrives. Alan decides, fuck, this is so stupid, I can't deal with this. So he goes out to get some fresh air. And Javert arrives, and Javert's like, I'm here to kill you, Alan. I'm still trying to kill you. And Alan goes, alright, let's fight then in this forest, and they run off. And Takeru finds the plane Ganma, and he kills it with Grateful Soul. It's a big kick. He kicks him in the sky, and he kills him. and Javert and Necrom fight to a standstill, but since they have human bodies, they're both also affected by the Ganma air, and they're weakened. And even though the plain Ganma is dead, the air is still all Ganma-y. And Takeri's like, what do we do? The Ganma air. And that's the end of the episode. So, Jeff, what?
We killed the mothership, but the aliens didn't all die immediately. This isn't what's supposed to happen.
Yeah, what the hell? So, Jeff, what did you think of Kamen Rider Ghost episode 25?
Interestingly, Kamen Rider Ghost episode 25 is less interesting and engaging than the crossover episode.
You
and
think
not
so?
even just because of the crossover part. Like, the crossover episode had the big revelation that Adele's dad is still alive and he's keeping him prisoner.
Yeah.
Which has lasting consequences for the motion of the show.
It
like
has
where
big
it can
implication.
end up.
Yeah.
They were going to turn the real world into the Ganma world anyway. It's just happening now.
We kind of already knew they want to turn the real world into the utopia that they created in the other dimension, so they're, like, stepping into their plan.
Yeah, but that doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me.
How so?
I'm gonna go on record saying that the Ganma's plan so far is dumb and makes no sense.
Okay.
They have a utopia world.
Yeah.
According to them. Their world is like the best world, and everybody should be like them. What purpose could they possibly have to go to the real world and change it to be like their world? They already have a world.
See, here's the thing. Here's the potential to add some depth to your villains and make them interesting so that you could stretch them out more over 50 episodes.
Uh-huh.
If they had cast the Ganma as, like, they see humans as, like, they view them as these sort of like, oh, poor souls, poor lesser beings, those humans who wallow in their own muck, we can raise them up to our level, or something like that. But they never really, they just seem like they're evil and they want to take over the world. They never really attack that angle of the character, even though that would make perfect sense for their motivations. But I guess nobody thought about that.
You know what else would make perfect sense?
What?
If they knew that their bodies were disintegrating inside those tubes, and that they were coming to, like, Earth to figure out a way to stop that.
Oh, that might be it.
If they needed... But, they didn't know that. Like, Alan didn't know that was happening. When Takeru tells him about it, he's like, what?
That's true. Maybe only Adonis knew.
Maybe.
And that was why. Maybe, who knew? Maybe Adonis...
Like, that would be a very interesting way to go with it. Like, it would at least give them some sort of motivation beyond somebody has to attack the Kamen Rider's world, or we don't have a show.
Well, actually, that I hope that's it. I think that could still be it, if it's just something Adonis knows and Alan was kept in the dark about.
Yeah.
There is still potential there, and that would be good. That would... I don't like that they're hiding it for so fucking long, but...
Yeah, we're halfway through the series now.
Good, and the villains don't even have a real motivation yet.
No, we should know something about what they're doing besides take over world.
Yeah, a good villain, maybe he even wants to, like, blow up the Earth or something, but he has a human motivation at his heart.
Yeah, it's something that you can at least understand. You might not feel the same way, you might not be able to sympathize, but you can understand where they're coming from.
Yeah, and I mean, a villain that's just a complete shit is nice sometimes, I like that. But in a 50-episode series, when you have to stretch a villain out for that long, it helps a lot to give them a motivation, like, he's just trying to save his sister. Huge spoilers for a season that I won't mention. Or something like that. Like
everything goes back to that season, though.
Of course. Well, you just gave it away.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, just something like that would be really nice for the Ganma. But
Some sort of motivation beyond... like Saturday morning cartoon villains. They're going to take over our world.
Yeah, I don't know. Ghost is so... They put the minimal amount of effort in. They're just, here's a fucking show. Here's the monster. They fight the monster. There's a lot of special effects. And, okay, we're done. Wrap up. Okay, see you next week, everyone.
They hand wave shit all the time as well. Like in this episode even... they're like, oh my god, what about Makoto's body? It's in the other world. And Alan's like, oh, my brother has some sort of interest in him, so he won't kill him.
I really hope that pans out into something.
Better be something. But it just felt like, oh, don't worry, the writers aren't going to kill him yet.
It's more it's more like, don't worry, we don't have to hurry and go to the game world. There's no urgency. There's no plot going on. Don't worry, everyone.
I think that's what pissed me off the most about this episode, because I was excited to see the episode after the crossover, because we got like the Ganma World stuff to look forward to. They're going to go in the Ganma World and mount a rescue to get Makoto back, and they just don't fucking do it. They like pussyfoot around for a whole episode and don't do shit.
I'm telling you, I think they should do an arc where they go into the Gamma World for like 4 or 5 episodes and spend time over there and have to stealth and do all sorts of interesting shit. Maybe they gotta bribe a Ganma to help them in. Or something.
Liam,
what?
But Liam, what's an arc?
Oh, I don't know. Apparently the writers of Ghost don't know.
We're just writing Ghost here. We don't know about all this fucking highfalutin style of writing. This is a children's show, Liam.
This is a show that is probably being written like scene by scene. Where they finish shooting a scene and they're like, okay, back to the writer's tent. What's gonna happen when Makoto catches up to Takeru? What's he gonna say? I don't know.
I like the blatant misunderstanding about what the icons do in this episode. And like how little the icons' ability together matters to this series anymore. That they're going to use their wish to wish the redness out of the sky. Like, the be-all, end-all, wish yourself back to life doesn't fucking matter. Kanon's sick. She's got the flu. We need to get rid of this red shit. Let's summon Shenron and get rid of this red shit.
I feel like, again, plot convenience. This is the episode where they explain why they can't just have the Dragon Balls and wish everything away. In this episode, it's because every time you do it, a laser appears. And I guess here's what they should do, is wait until the Monster of the Week is next to them and then set up all 15 icons and be like, here's your wish, buddy, and then he gets hit by the laser.
Yeah, apparently the laser either blows you away if you're wearing a belt, or obliterates you if you're not. So just use that every time.
Yeah, and they don't get the wish, they just get the rainbow. So fuck you.
Or, if you're a Ganma, apparently the rainbow goes into your eye and you see the rainbow again.
Yeah, oh my god, it was a vision of the past 2 seconds ago, what does it mean?
It was set up last episode that Takeru and Alan were going to work together. And in this episode, they're like, alright, we're going to work together now. And Alan's like, oh, even though all I wanted was to go back to the Ganma world and have a meat shield, somehow I have a secondary plan now?
Yeah, I feel like he's set, like, what could he want other than, like, obviously he wants to kill Adele. Yes. That's an obvious one.
Well, he like, says something in this episode, it might just be like a translation thing, but he says the only way I can fix this is to talk to Adele and set it straight.
Okay, maybe...
But is he dumb enough to think his brother's just going to be like, oh, I was wrong, I killed Dad for nothing, let's just be a family again?
I don't know. I like that the writers can't seem to, like, communicate the fact that he has an ulterior motive in any way other than having him evilly smile and look at the camera. And he doesn't, like...
wringing his hands and laughing.
Yeah, he doesn't... Okay, the first time he did it, I was like, okay, I guess he's thinking about how awesome his plan is going to be. And then Akari catches him, and then he keeps doing it, and he does it again in the basement, and I started laughing really, really hard, because it's like, I pictured them walking around all day, and he just keeps smiling, and Akari's, every time she catches him, like, what if he's just remembering a funny joke, you ass? Like, he just can't stop smiling about how sick his plan is gonna be. Every 10 minutes, he's gotta crack a little grin.
They go to a baseball game, and they're standing near the hot dog stand, and he's just fucking cackling inwardly. Alan, could you stop thinking about fucking turncoat on Takeru for 1 second and get me a hot dog?
They go and watch Seinfeld, and he smiles at a joke, and Akari's like, what are you fucking playing over there? I see you.
The Japanese are always big fans of Seinfeld.
Yeah, I'm sure.
There is that episode where Jerry does a TV show in Japan that gets really popular.
Really?
Maybe that's a real TV show, and they know Seinfeld.
Did you know that the Japanese name for Seinfeld is My Neighbor Seinfeld? That's the name of the show.
Really?
Yeah. It's like My Neighbor Totoro, but My Neighbor Seinfeld.
I don't know why they made that decision. I can't put 2 and 2 together on this one.
Well, it's always, whenever TV shows and movies get changed to other countries, they always have totally different, or not always, but a lot of the time they have totally different titles. Like, sometimes Italy does this all the fucking time, where the title is just a description of the movie.
Yeah,
Like,
they change titles constantly in Italy.
Yeah. Like instead of this is an example. I don't know if they actually did this, but it's like Stephen King's It would be changed to like the clown that murders people, and that's like I had a teacher, an Italian teacher, who talked about that shit all the time. It was hilarious.
You know, the cover to Italian movies are always, like, wildly misleading, too. So it would be, like, the clown that kills people, and there would be, like, a clown leering over a half-naked woman with her shirt ripped down the middle screaming.
Yeah, that's how you do that shit in Italy. That's how you market. I wish Ghost had commercials like that.
Anyway, let's talk about Kamen Rider Ghost.
Okay, I have one big problem with this episode.
Do tell.
So Steve Bills comes out and he reveals this new operating system, and I'm not quite sure what it does. He says it's supposed to, like, connect people over long distances, and they can, like, send messages or, like, talk to each other.
He created Wi-Fi.
Yeah, but that's just, like, how are you supposed to talk to someone connecting them through the world? That's just sci-fi shit, okay? It's never going to be real. How are you supposed to do that?
He created it.
He invented it? He invented the internet.
Sci-fi shit.
It's stupid because the internet exists and he's advertising the fucking internet. He's like, here's this operating system and it's got the internet, and everyone's like, woo!
We don't know what technology's like in Japan.
Google
they still have
Chrome.
fucking flip phones.
If I went over to Japan and I was like, hey guys, check out Internet Explorer, would they lose their shit or something?
What the fuck is this?
I can Skype with people.
The highest technology we have is business cards that they give away at the movie theater. I didn't know about this.
It's just, everything is so vague. The whole plot is just pussyfooted around in favor of a ghost plane.
Yeah, they did this, like, reveal of the ghost plane, where it, like, zooms in on him in this dark room and he looks really ominous. And then he starts acting like a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
And for a second I was like, oh my god, is there gonna be, like, an actual threat? And then he starts acting like an idiot, and I'm like, oh no, he's just a regular Ganma. Never mind.
He's a monster of the week. He shoots red stuff.
Remember when we were gonna go in the Ganma world and rescue Makoto?
No, it's fine. Makoto is not in any real danger. It's fine. We can wait as long as we want. We can dick around with Monster of the Weeks for 17 years, and Makoto will be fine.
You know, I have a lot of questions about these tubes. The tubes that the people are in.
Oh,
like,
okay.
What happens when the body poops?
The body
Is there a tube in the tube up their ass?
It's like the Matrix, where you're just covered in tubes in your pod.
And there's just a window to your face, and you're wearing regular clothes in it.
Just in case someone wants to look at you, you gotta look your best.
The tubes are dumb.
The tubes are kind of...
You know what? This whole show's dumb.
Yeah. How about that?
That's my fucking review of Ghost episode 25. This whole show is dumb.
I think I've just kind of settled into Ghost now. I don't get outraged anymore.
Yeah, I wasn't outraged either.
Like, it's...
Alan eats 10 boxes of takoyaki, and during that whole scene, all I was thinking was, like, is this all he's eaten since he became a human? Just this one fucking thing?
Be gaining a lot of weight.
What's gonna happen when he, like, fucking finds a banana or something? Oh my god, this has a different taste! I love being a human!
I can't.
And she gives him water, and the thing that immediately popped into my head was, has he fucking drank anything since he came here?
He's like, oh my god, my mouth isn't as dry as fucking sandpaper anymore as soon as I put this stuff in it.
Shouldn't he be dead by now?
I don't know.
Like, and his stomach starts hurting, and I was like, oh my god, is he about to have his first shit? What is this? There's brown goo coming out of my ass!
There is a pressure on my anus. What is this sensation?
So I guess I spend a lot of time thinking about how fictional characters use the bathroom.
Hey man, you gotta explain that shit. That's world building.
That's world building. It was just a question that came to me a long time ago that just filters into everything else. But my question was, what does Batman do when he has to use the bathroom and he's out fighting crime?
He holds it in. He's Batman.
Does he go to a fucking, like, 7-Eleven and take a piss in their bathroom? Does he have, like, adult diapers under his like, underoos?
He trained on a mountain with elite ninjas. I think he knows how to hold in his shits.
Eventually, that comes back to haunt you. You can't just hold your shits and pisses in.
If he ever gets tased or something on the job, that's the... Ooh. You don't want to be close to him.
Every time Ra's al Ghul, like, wakes him up and has him, like, tied to a trap, he's like, oh, by the way, I changed your underwear.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Ra's al Ghul. That was very kind of you.
Alright, back to Ghost.
Fuck. Yeah, we're talking about Kamen Rider. I don't really have anything else to say about this episode. It wasn't offensive. I didn't love it. It wasn't really a standout episode. It was mediocre. It was another episode of Ghost.
Nothing happened.
Yeah, they talked about stuff happening,
the big
maybe.
reveal was a laser.
A laser. Hey, the sky's red now.
A whoop-de-fucking-do.
The biggest plot point in this episode, the biggest plot device, was a bag full of air. A little plastic
Doesn't that
bag.
just sum up Ghost? A bag of hot air.
They collect a little bag full of air and they gotta analyze it. Akari's gotta analyze it.
There's only one moment in this entire episode that I enjoyed myself, and it's when Urizen showed up. That's it.
And he's afraid of heights. What a guy. What a ghost.
What a guy. What a gal.
What a gal.
Urizen's like, no way, bozo, I'm not doing it. And he's like, how about if I get you some takoyaki? And Urizen's like, holy shit, yeah!
I think the takoyaki mafia is behind this show.
Yeah, no kidding.
Everyone can't stop eating it.
You know what's gonna happen? Once this series is over, they're gonna be like, Kamen Rider fish sausage takoyaki coming at you.
Oh boy. Would it even matter anymore after Ghost? What could you possibly do to outdo this show?
Ghost is not as bad as some other Kamen Rider shows. I'll give it that.
Yeah, that's true. It's just aggressive in its mediocrity. Is the worst thing about Ghost.
Last week, while I was away on my corporate-sponsored vacation...
While Jeff had escaped the Rider Club radio compound before the security team caught him and drugged him and brought him back...
The dogs chased me for hours.
Oh.
But while I was on my vacation last week, you guys were talking about the crossover episodes.
Yeah.
And I just want to throw my 2 cents in and say the crossover episode of Zyuohger was really enjoyable.
Yeah, it was
I
good.
really loved that episode. It was great. Like, Tusk is like an edgelord, but I still love him.
I like any Tusk episodes. I like seeing him be so flustered and upset with all the others.
He's great.
Yeah.
And I really, really enjoyed when Yamato showed up in Ghost.
Oh yeah, and he helps him beat the porcupine, yeah.
Here's the interesting part of that. You guys didn't touch on this in the episode that I had to fucking sit through and listen. I understand how the fans feel now when they shit on us, but
Yeah.
You guys didn't touch on this, but Takeru becomes an interesting character for the 6 minutes that Yamato is with him.
What do you mean?
Like,
Because I didn't notice if that's
they're
your
like
time.
best bros, and they're like cracking jokes and like being friendly and comparing their weapons and being all happy and upbeat.
They're like, oh, I got a little sword just like you. That's kind of the same shape.
And like Takeru, like Yamato knocks the guy towards him, and Takeru's like, first up to bat, Tenkuji Takeru, and like I'm like, that's not his fucking personality. He's being a fun guy.
His personality is, I'm gonna burn bright.
What should I do? I'm gonna burn bright.
What should I do? I don't know.
No, but he was like, I love crossovers between characters that just immediately fucking hit it off and have a great time. That never happens in American media. So
they always
anytime
gotta
it
fight.
Happens, I enjoy it.
Yeah.
So yeah, Takeru became an interesting character for 6 minutes.
It was just like I said, fucking Zyuohger is gonna raise Ghost up, and Ghost is gonna drag Zyuohger down.
Yeah, he did.
And he did.
When he was on screen during Zyuohger, I was like, well, I can tune this shit out.
It was like, oh, this is a cool episode. It's got a weird premise. One of the Rangers becomes a mook. I like that. And then it's like, oh, Ghost is on, and now he's gone, and we can get back. Good.
Let's get back to the story that matters.
Yeah, exactly.
It was convenience, though, because it got the characters out of the way so Tusk and Amu could have their episode.
Yeah. I like Tusk, and he keeps that in this week's episode of Zyuohger as well, where just his thing is that just he hates everyone else being silly all the time. Mm-hmm. They're all, like, bubbly and flashy with their personalities, and he's like, you guys, we gotta find the fucking cube. Guys, stop putting the headphones on. He's the straight man.
He is a straight man.
In a house
that is
of
his
weirdos.
goal.
Yeah.
So Ghost was mediocre. We've learned there's a height that ghosts can reach, and it's not very fucking high, and we're not getting any higher.
Great. 10 out of 10.
Thanks, Toei.
Jeff, do you want to hear some news?
You know what? I'll allow it. I'll allow it on this episode.
Just this once. Thank you so much.
For those who don't know, I am actually a higher rank in the organization of Rider Club Radio than Liam.
Jeff, yeah, that's
but
what they tell
Liam
him.
gets paid more than me.
This week, Toei announced as part of their superhero year that they're releasing 2 really nice watches. A watch based on Kamen Rider that's got that, that like R symbol that's on his motorcycle.
Yeah, like the Tachibana Racing Club.
Yeah, the Tachibana Racing. And then there's a Shocker one with the Shocker Eagle, and it's black.
Liam, is Rider Club Radio an advertisement for Toei's merchandise now?
Don't tell them. You're not supposed to tell them. It makes us look biased.
I'm pissed off because I'm not receiving any money for this.
I get the watches for free, actually, just by talking about them here.
Then they're the greatest watches made by mankind.
They're really slick watches, and you too can own them for the modest price of $400.
$400? Why, I have that laying around the kitchen.
Why, of course, it's a drop in the bucket. If you don't have it, just fucking borrow the money from the bank. It's a sound investment.
$400? Why, you can't even buy a modern virtual reality helmet for that.
Oh boy, we're back to that topical humor.
$400 is fucking ridiculous. Are you joking me?
For a watch, they are nice watches. Holy hell, they're good to look. The Shocker one is fucking slick.
Are they like gold watches? Or
I don't know what they're made of, but they're really fucking... They're actually like fashionable watches that you might see a rich person wear. They just happen to have a little Shocker Eagle right on the center. They're not like big plastic ridiculous Wendy's watches.
Who is that made for, though? Like, are the rich people in Japan? Like, when I was a kid, I loved Kamen Rider. I'll wear a fucking symbol of it on my wrist.
I imagine there's gotta be at least one, like, business mogul who's in his, like, 50s who watched the original Kamen Rider when he was a kid or something, and it's a really subtle thing. It's a subtle. Like, you can't tell from far away. You gotta look real up close to see the symbol. So from far away, it just looks like a nice watch.
I just don't see, like, big businessmen types doing that. I mean, like, you watch House of Cards, don't you?
I've seen, like, 3 episodes. Yeah.
Did you see... I only saw, like, 2, but...
Okay, so we're on the same page.
Yeah, like, Kevin Spacey loves video games, but he's not wearing video game shirts to his office.
You don't know. Maybe he's wearing a t-shirt. Maybe his undershirt has a Call of Duty logo on it.
Maybe. What a fucking casual, by the way. He's going to be president and all he's played is Call of Duty? That's shameful.
That's the thing. He is a cold, calculating house whip politician, and I'm supposed to fucking believe that he plays video games in his spare time? Like, okay, buddy.
Everybody plays video games these days, Liam.
Not like having like a PS, maybe on his phone, but like a PS3.
Bullshit.
I don't know.
Everybody plays video games these days, sir.
I don't know. My dad doesn't.
Your dad does. He just doesn't want you to know. He's got like a PS Vita. Is why he doesn't want you to know.
Oh
he's
god,
ashamed.
yeah. I would hide that from everyone.
For our viewers that have a PS Vita, I'm not fucking sorry.
The PS Vita has a sizable library of very niche games if you like that sort of thing.
If you like anime titties, do I got the handheld for you?
Yeah. It's the only system where you can play Digimon Cyber Sleuth on, so that's...
Titties, there you go.
There is some anime titties in there, yeah.
Liam loves Digimon.
I fucking love Digimon.
I also like Digimon quite a lot, but not enough to buy a Vita.
No, me neither. You're gonna have to do quite a bit more. Oh god. Okay, we're done shitting on the Vita.
Yeah. You got any more news?
Yeah, one more thing. The Deep Spectre icon got some images this week, and it's like you hit the side and it doesn't change the face of it. You know, with the icons, you hit it and it changes what's in the eye?
Yeah.
The Deep Spectre one glows purple when you hit it.
Huh.
It glows an angry glow.
Yeah, Deep Spectre's the one with the big angry fucking eyeball, right?
Yeah, the pissed off icon, and he's got antlers.
Ghost is dumb.
Yeah, it's pretty dumb.
Ghost has good designs, though. I will give it that. But like I said, if a Toku's got good designs...
It's gotta be bad.
It's probably gonna be bad.
This week he uses Billy the Kid, and I was like, whoo, Billy the Kid's a slick fucking form. I forgot about it.
Yeah,
it
Billy the
nice.
Kid showed up, and I was like, I fucking forgot he had other forms.
Yeah, I forgot about Billy the Kid.
Remember, kids, buy the toy.
Yeah, that's the tactic.
Kids aren't gonna buy that. They're gonna see it and be like, what is this lame shit? Use a strong one.
Yeah, whatever. Get the grateful Icon Driver G, kids, before the scalpers do.
You know, I just remembered, for like the past couple episodes, he keeps pulling Boost out and hitting it, and then deciding he needs to use a different icon.
Does he do that? This
Yeah.
week? Fuck.
Does Boost... Is Boost just fucking done? They're just like, we're not using that anymore. Don't...
No, Boost, it's out of style now. The soul of my father fighting together with me? No, fuck that. No. I got a better one.
I gotta use all of them.
Not him, though. Not Dad.
Thanks for giving up your soul, Dad. I'm just not gonna use this shit anymore. You're too weak.
That's all my news. The Deep Spectre icon glows purple. That's my second news article.
What?
Yeah.
You get the hot news from Rider Club Radio.
The world of Kamen Rider slept this week, which is fine because we have something much more interesting to talk about later.
As soon as this episode ends, they're gonna, like, declare Hiroshi Fujioka the new emperor of Japan. Because Rider Club Radio misses every fucking bit of important news.
I hear he's the top candidate, Fujioka.
He is. He's neck and neck with Emperor Neo Heisei.
Jeff, did you watch Zyuohger this week?
No.
You missed it?
I was, like, trying to catch up with everything I missed last week.
Yeah.
And everything I have this week, because I was completely out of town.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I completely missed the Zyuohger release.
Okay, well, I'll summarize it real quick for you. There's a monster that he's a motorcycle and he uses a horn to drive people crazy. But Leo just happens to be wearing headphones, so he avoids the craziness. And they gotta go back and fight him. And there's also a guy who's gonna play guitar, and Leo convinces him to try his hardest.
Episode.
It was a Leo episode and you fucking missed it.
This is the fucking worst.
It's
I watched Ghost.
It's a really good episode too.
This is genuinely bothering me. If we didn't have such a like tight schedule to turn this around and get it out to people, I'd just fucking stop it and watch it right now.
Yeah, it's too late at night now though, so fuck you. You get to hear it from me.
I'm gonna watch this as soon as we're fucking done.
Yeah, I'll keep it brief because Jeff didn't watch it, but it was a good episode. It's very nice to see, like, Zyuohger seems to be falling into that pattern that we sort of predicted a little while ago, where it just, let's cycle through the cast, and here's this character gets an episode, and this character, and this character.
Which is also the pattern that we were both hoping for.
Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted out of this show, so it's perfect. It's a very good use of the Sentai formula, where, like, they wiggle around as much as they can within that formula, within those constraints, and it works really well, especially with a strong cast like Zyuohger has.
Like I said before, there's no one in Zyuohger that I don't like.
Yeah, none of the Zyuohgers are like, there's no annoying one. Even
the goofy
Amu.
grandpa.
Yeah, the goofy grandpa or Amu, the ones you would expect to be irritated by after a while. No, not at all. You like them both. I like them.
Dude, Amu's a cutie pie. Don't be talking shit.
I expected to not like Amu, but she's fine. She's like, she has a real character is the thing. They spend an episode setting her up and saying, like, this is what she's like real when she's not, pretending to be anything. And it endears you to her character, and she's not just the bubbly one.
She's a fucking cutie pie. She's waifu material, and you're hating
I mean,
on
she's no Sayla, but I mean,
Sayla is also waifu material.
But yeah, that's
top waifu is Leo, though.
Of course. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say about it, though. Go watch it if you haven't already. Go watch Zyuohger.
Oh, I will.
Yeah, definitely. But
I
boy,
can't fucking believe I missed it.
Let's get to the actual main event of this podcast. Why don't we?
All right, let's talk about Kamen Rider Amazons.
Oh boy.
If you don't know about Amazons,
yeah, give us a.
Amazons is a partnership between Toei and Amazon Prime Japan to create a mini-series in the style of American superhero movies, utilizing Kamen Rider Amazon's shtick.
Yeah, it's
like an updating for the modern age of the Amazon story, and I was actually surprised at how much it takes from Kamen Rider Amazon. And, like, there's a point where the, like, extermination team has their own Amazon, and he's Mole Amazon, so he's like the
Yeah.
Mole Beast Man.
Yeah. It's really neat. It's like it's a show. If you don't know about it, it's a world where people, as of yet, there's no given reason. They're just sort of like failed experiments or something. But random people turn into monsters called Amazons.
They're
And
like
there's,
bloodthirsty and mindless, and they devour human beings.
Yeah, so like the main characters, or at least a bunch of the main characters, are this task force, this sort of like SWAT team that secretly goes in and kills them and then cleans them up. And it's like that's the first episode is just kind of setting up their world. Like this is what they're do. And there's this mysterious guy who lives on some shitty apartment, and he's got a belt that lets him turn into an Amazon, but like he completely keeps his mind.
Yeah, he doesn't turn like ferocious or monstrous whatsoever.
Yeah, and he's sort of the weirdo, like, he's the unknown element that's going to shake the world up. So that's sort of the setup in the first episode.
Mm-hmm.
Jeff, what did you think of episode 1?
I really, really liked it.
Me too!
Like,
so
I know
good.
people are probably waiting for us to have a differing opinion on something again,
Nope.
but I fucking love Amazons. I'm super fucking hyped for it.
I went in a little spooked. Not lit, but I was like a little like, oh, maybe this will be shit.
Yeah, you
'cause
were
it's
kind of
like,
apprehensive. when
It's
you came
trying.
in.
It's trying so hard, or at least it looked like it was trying so hard to be like gritty and mature and real grim. But
at
it
the
pulls it
beginning
off.
of it.
Yeah,
At the beginning of it, especially, it looked like, and this is what really spooked me to begin with, it looked like a television studio trying as hard as possible to seem like a movie studio.
yeah.
But
And
that
it just,
like went away when it started introducing the characters.
yeah, it's the opening scene in particular. I like a lot. It goes on a little long, but it's like they're going through this apartment looking for the spider Amazon, and they're creeping around. And at any second, you expect it to jump out and go like gooble gobble google. But the guy just opens a door, and it's like just like a real spider. It's like nested itself up in the corner of the room and is like spitting webs everywhere. And it's like
Yeah.
shuddering and making that weird noise.
It was actually scary for a
Yeah,
second.
I was creeped out by it.
I was like,
which
oh my god, are the monsters going to be terrifying in this? And then it jumped down and it was wearing like a carpet on its back, and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
alright.
Oh no, never mind. But still, like the way like that they were able to do that with that suit and that budget and make that scene that's like that shot that's genuinely creepy and unsettling is really cool. And then there's the bit where they like to the viewer it's very scary, but then it pans over to the sort of like the team point man, and he's like, yo, okay, get it ready, and they start playing the music, and they're like, everybody get back, and they just start fighting it, and you're like, oh, okay, like this is their world. Like,
Yeah,
this
they're
is just what they
used
deal
to
with all the time.
You were
and it's-
expecting them to get up there and be like, oh god,
No,
it's a
they're
monster.
They're like, oh no, we found it. Start playing the music. Let's kill it. Get ready, everyone.
You know
and
what?
it's-
The moment that I knew I was going to love Amazons was...
What?
the team point man, the leader, is on the CB radio with the CEO lady. Mm-hmm. And he's like, tell us what the Amazons are. And she's like, it's none of your business. I can find a different group, whatever.
Yeah.
And she starts to threaten him a little bit. And he's like, fine. And he hangs up and he's like, God. And then you hear like this soft crying.
Yeah.
And he's like, what is that? And he looks back in the bag. And the mole Amazon guy is like crying because he ripped his suit up to transform and they don't have any more.
I like
And everybody's like comforting him. The girls making
Yeah.
fun of him and they're all like, stop making fun of him. We'll get you a suit. Don't worry.
There's a little bit of levity in that group and their whole camaraderie. There's another great scene with them later where it's the bat and the spider show up and they call them in, and it's early in the morning and they're all hungover, and there's that side shot of all of them lying under the same table and they all start like kicking each other awake. And
That
they're like,
is
oh
such
fuck,
an awesome
oh,
scene.
someone get the phone, shit.
They're
So, like,
absolutely my favorite part of this. Like the two main characters, I'm like interested in them, but I love the extermination team.
that's the first episode is so fucking effective because you see it through the eyes of a squad, and it's you get to see a normal day in that world, and
Yeah.
it introduces you to all the weird elements, and then it throws in the two main characters that sort of get the plot going
It
right at the end of the
introduces
first
you-
episode.
It introduces you to the world through the eyes of fairly normal people. Like, it's a standpoint that you already understand because they're like a military-style unit. You understand that.
Yeah,
And
They're
seeing
a task
the world
force.
through their eyes gives you
Yeah.
a great introduction.
and it's really like the way they fight is really neat too. They you have to use like electricity to take the Amazons down. So they have all these, like, all their bullets are, like, taser shells and shit like that, and the girl's got, like, an electric knife that she
She's
uses.
got, like, electrified boots as well, and the girl's,
Yeah.
like, some sort of amazing martial artist.
Yeah, she's the close-up combat specialist, I guess.
And
she punches things.
They do, like, this awesome thing that I absolutely loved, because it was actually clever. It wasn't, like, television show clever, where somebody off to the side says, "Oh, so clever!"
Yeah.
Where they shoot these wires around the room to block off
Oh,
the Amazon
yeah.
in the middle so it can't escape.
Yeah, there's a shot of the guy, and he's, like, stretching, it looks just like piano wire across the room to, like, make a little arena, but then it's electrified. It's really neat, and it's like, oh, you get it, like, it's, again, it's like, this is their world, like, this is how they do it, they contain the monster, and then they beat it, it's like, to localize all the damage and stuff like that. It's a very well thought out little thing.
Everything in this episode is very effective, even like the small details. Near the beginning, they're like, what rank is this? What kind of bonus are we going to get? And they're like, oh, it's just rank D.
And they're talking about how they're going to spend their bonus on drinks and shit.
And like, they fight the rank D monster and have kind of a difficult time with it, it seems, but they're all on the top of their game. So when they start the next thing and they're like, oh, it's a B level and an A level, and they're really nervous, you as a viewer are also nervous because you know what they're capable of at this point.
Yeah, it throws you off, which in turn makes the introduction of Amazon Alpha 10 times cooler because he just fucking rips the heart right out of the spider.
I love his reaction, too. He rips the heart out and he's like, so gross. He drops
Damn, that's nasty, yeah.
He's a really fun character. Like, he's such a gross slob.
I like him. He kind of reminds me a bit of Tendo Soji.
A little bit. He's a lot more likable than Tendo Soji so far.
Yeah, it's like you have the organization that fights the monsters, and they're not so effective, and then you have this rogue outside element who somehow has a crazy piece of technology, and he's way better at it. It's sort of the same formula, and I really liked that about Kabuto, and I really like that here.
I was actually a little bit worried about Kamen Rider Omega. Like, his part of the story was the least interesting to me.
Yeah, that was a complaint I had too.
But I have renewed hopes for him when he started going feral. The actor did a really good job of that after a certain point.
That's another problem I had with this episode is when, like, he starts, like, losing it, he starts turning into an Amazon, and he's, like, breathing real heavy.
Yeah.
And it goes on forever, because there's, like, a whole fight scene going on off the side, and then every now and again it cuts back, and I think it cuts back to him way too often, like, maybe half as much.
I don't know if I agree with that, because, like...
It was obnoxious, I thought.
Up until a certain point, it bothered me, because he was just going...
Yeah.
And, like, he was, like, leaning against trees and going, oh my god, what's wrong with me? But when he started to lose his mind, and when he started going...
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit, that's really effective.
He's turning into a real monster. Yeah, when he actually starts growling, that's pretty cool. But they could have got to that quicker a little.
When he jumps out and reveals his Amazon form, I was like, are they not going to fucking show it, even though it's a green version of Alpha?
It's not quite. It's
not.
Got an open mouth.
He has kind of a dumb forward-jutting jaw thing to it.
Yeah.
It actually looks pretty stupid, but he doesn't have it for long, so...
Yeah.
But
fucking Amazon Alpha's, like, introduction, his first transformation is the coolest shit in the history of Kamen Rider that ever happened.
I don't know if I agree with that, but it was fucking awesome. I love when they're all, like, tense and everything's fucking going to hell, and they're like, oh my god, what are we gonna do? One of our guys is a bee Amazon?
Yeah, he turns... I think it's a dragonfly.
Maybe, yeah, that's probably what it is. He turns into a dragonfly Amazon, and... Everybody's like, oh my god, what are we gonna fucking do? And then, right in the middle of a scene, a tense scene, you just hear... Burr,
he just starts leaning on the car.
And he fucking just cracks an egg on his belt and eats it.
Yeah. And everyone's like, get the fuck out of here. Who are you even supposed to be?
Who the fuck is this? What is he doing?
And he hits it, he pulls the belt, and it says Arufa, and then there's a perfect, like, 2 seconds, and then he goes, Amazon, and it's like,
yeah.
And he blows the monster back. It's so cool. The special effects are, like, minimal. It's not as crazy and in your face, but they're 10 times as effective.
His transformation is the coolest in the episode. Like, everybody else's transformations seem kind of hokey to me, because they get, like, steam explosions first, and that looks really stupid to me. But Amazon Alpha's transformation, where he just pulls the thing and then there's like an actual like light explosion and he's there.
Yeah.
That's fucking sick.
Yeah, his suit is pretty slick too.
It is. Like I said before, I was quoting Ega Devil maybe. He said that there's parts of Amazon Alpha and Omega that if you put them together, it would make an amazing suit, but they're really great suits on their own.
Yeah. We haven't seen the Omega that's in the ads and stuff. We haven't seen the really slick Omega.
But he has to get a belt for that.
Yeah, because if you're an Amazon, I think you have the Gigi armlet, and I think there's a way to use that to control your shit. I don't know, because
I think maybe it might be a drug thing for Mole Beastman. Or Mole Amazon, because
you can see, if your Gigi armlet has the blue eyes, then it means you're in control, but if it has the red eyes, then it means you're a full Amazon. I don't know how that works, if it's just an indicator, or...
I don't know if you're in control, really, because the Mole Amazon is, like, going fucking crazy. He just only attacks other Amazons.
Yeah, you're fighting other Amazons and not just randomly killing people.
And Space Sheriff Estevan turns into the Dragonfly.
Oh, yeah, I fucking thought I recognized that guy.
He's Space Sheriff Estevan from
I was
Space
looking
Sheriff
at his
Scheider,
face.
Sheriff on the movie.
Yeah, I was looking at his face the whole episode, and I was like, he looks so fucking familiar, but I couldn't quite put my finger on it, but you got it, yeah.
As soon as I fucking saw him, I was like, he's gonna turn traitor somehow. I know it. And then he turned out to be an Amazon.
Yeah. Kind of a traitor.
Spoilers.
Oh boy, watch the episode.
You should have watched the episode before you watched this.
Another thing I like about Amazon so far is that the violence is it's not excessive, and it's not at the same time too tame. It's
I was having a conversation with a couple people on Twitter earlier where they thought that the episode, like, it was trying to be edgy for some reason. That's the word they used. They said it was like the violence was highlighted to try to make it seem more adult or something, but I disagree pretty heavily because it's the same exact violence from Amazon, the original.
Yeah, we're just ripping people's heads out by their spines and shit. Yeah,
it just has better special effects.
Yeah, and also it's like it's most of the actual violence is on monsters that bleed black goo, and whenever it's on a person, it's always like kind of a safe sort of far away. Which is fine. Like, no matter how dark you get, it's still Kamen Rider. But it's just like the spider Amazon grabs a guy in the first opening scene, and it almost looks the same as a regular thing that you might see in Ghost or something, except there's a sound effect added that's like like when he's biting into him. So you get that little extra grit, but it's not like Space Sheriff. Which was it? Sherivan?
Yeah, Sherivan.
Where people
was
are getting
the one
fucking
where
stabbed and.
There was constant, like, plug-in blood effects happening at all times.
Or, like, it's heavily implied, like, when the girl's in the van and she gets fucking attacked by two Amazons at once, and it's just, like, you just hear it.
I think that was really effective when she's screaming and it just cuts off.
Yeah!
I thought that was really effective.
That was a very cool scene. The Amazons are really cool monsters.
They are.
The suits are a little higher quality than what we're used to, but they're just framed and used in a very effective way that makes them a lot creepier. There
are very few Kamen Rider series where I think if I turned into a monster from this series, I probably wouldn't be that sad about it. Like, if I turned into an Amazon, that'd be pretty fucking sick. I just don't want to eat people.
Yeah, you get one of the belts then. Get your hands on a driver.
I love the driver has, like, the motorcycle grips on it, and he, like, turns the grip to transform.
Yeah,
that was sick.
Because it's the same belt that Amazon had. It's kind of like those weird little those little handles it had.
But back to the point that people were saying that it was like edgy or too gory or violent. Like, there's a lot of clever camera work to hide the gore that you wouldn't normally. Normally, you'd see like a lot more. Like when they rip the arm off, they show it for like a second. And you see it ripped off, and you see the blood spurt, but then they cut away. They don't, like... It's not like a Evil Dead movie where it shows the arm off, like, spurting blood for 20 minutes or whatever.
Yeah, it's not
And excessive. I love Evil Dead, by the way.
The only thing I could say about... Maybe I didn't, about the edginess, quote-unquote, is that it seems like the whole show has kind of like a gray filter over it a little bit. Like, it's very colorless, and it seems like the color grading is just a little too strong.
I could agree with that.
And it's just kind of gray. But
it's the same thing that happened in the first to the next, really.
Yeah, I got a first and next vibe from the tone of this a little bit.
A little bit. It's like if the first and the next was really, really good.
It's like if it had a competent writer behind it, like Yasuko Kobayashi.
Yeah. And not an incompetent writer like Toshiki Inoue.
Oh, damn, I like this show. I'm very excited about Amazons.
I am too. It's been a while since I was really excited about a Kamen Rider.
It makes me sad that this is like a special hero year thing, because I would like it if just every year we had something that was just so weird that you never expect. Because who expected Amazons? Who expected anything like this?
We thought it was a joke when it first came out.
Yeah. Like to have like next year be like, oh, next, we'll do a thing with Netflix, 13 episodes, and it's Kamen Rider, fucking, I don't know, just something weird that nobody would expect. Just some random writer comes out and says, hi, I have a strange idea. Just give them 13 episodes on some streaming service.
Yeah,
or
that
something.
Would be
I wish they would do
sick.
that. Because then you could have your toy commercial, you could have your post-decade formula, and then you could have, an experimental thing to keep Kamen Rider fresh.
I think the most interesting thing about Amazons is, I was thinking about this earlier today. Amazons is the original Kamen Rider Amazon series if it was a Heisei series, like an early Heisei series.
Yeah. Early Heisei is kind of the vibe I got as well. It's like not afraid to be a little more dark in its themes.
Yeah, like trying new things, like going in different directions, having like a different narrative structure. And it's basically like Amazon was, he was a rainforest man, there was an evil organization turning people into monsters, and the world had to deal with those repercussions, and Amazon stopped them. And that's the basic premise that this is going to get to. It's just done in such a
more complex way.
It's a more complex way. The narrative structure is way more complex, especially introducing the extermination team into it, which I thought, when I was reading, about this series, that it was going to be the most boring, uninteresting part. The extermination squad.
They're all great, though.
They're all my favorite character at this point.
I like during the whole first scene, there's the guy who has to stay outside to keep the lady away from the house, just talking to her about, pets and bugs and dogs and shit all day.
The camera wasn't close enough to see his face. I just saw it looked like he had facial hair.
Yeah.
And I thought for a long time, and I got really excited about this, it kind of bummed me out. I thought that was Date Akira from Kamen Rider O's.
Oh.
Because he acted just like him.
Yeah.
That's my only complaint. Date Akira is not in this series.
Really cool show, though, so far. I can't wait for episode 2.
I can't either. Like I said, it's been a while since I felt this way about Kamen Rider.
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
And if you didn't like it, write in and tell us. RiderClubRadio@gmail.com.
Might as well.
Tell us your viewpoint in it. I mean, I feel like this could be a divisive series for the people who really loved, who love Ghost, people who really love, Wizard.
All those people who love Ghosts,
There's
all
a
six of
sizable
them.
contingency of people who tell me that I'm full of shit all the time.
I guess, some of our fans say they like Ghosts. That's fine.
I don't think Amazons is for people that like Ghost. I just don't think that they would enjoy it. So if you have a differing opinion on Amazons, write into us. I'd like to hear it.
Yeah, why not?
I'm going to toss it in the garbage can, but I'd like to read it first.
I just like it because you know me, I'm a big bitch for early Heisei, and it's because it was a time when the next Kamen Rider series could be anything. It could be any tone, any theme, any pace, anything.
Yeah,
it didn't sort of fall into and that's kind of what Amazons is for today.
Amazons came out of fucking nowhere, man.
Nowhere.
I can't.
I'm
believe that.
really glad it wasn't an April Fool's joke.
Like I said, that would have been the most fucking intricate April Fool's joke in history.
Yeah, once they started showing trailers, it was like, okay, we're probably gonna get a real thing, but still.
You were still, reserved. You were like, I'm not getting fucking tricked, Toei.
I'm not getting tricked again, yeah. Not like last year.
You tricked me into watching Ghost.
That should have been the April Fool's joke. Oh, wait, I think I made that same joke last week.
Just like when Amazons was introduced, they were like, haha, April Fool's, Ghost isn't the real series this year. enjoy this short series that we made.
Ugh.
And it was fucking awesome.
If it was just once a year they release a 13 episode thing that is at this level of quality, I would die happy.
Yeah, me too.
We don't even need to have a 50
I guess we're
episode
kinda,
show.
It's interesting that people are probably going to write in and be like, "You're jumping the gun. You didn't judge Ghost this early, and look how it turned out."
Here's the thing. Like you said with Zyuohger, a show can be good right away, and this show is good right away.
Yeah.
Just how, like, it's not a writing tactic to be like, oh, it's building up, it's shit right now, but it's building up. You can make it good right at the start and still build it up. You have to start
out with something to catch people's attention and get them hooked into your series.
And that's what this has. There's mysteries for you to latch onto. There's a shakeup. There's a cast of characters who are interesting and like play off of each other in a good way. It starts it good. It gets right to the shit. Kobayashi knows what she's doing.
Even the weakest part of this show so far, which is Kamen Rider Omega, has a mystery behind his character. Like, he was kept inside that house or whatever, and he was made to take that medicine, and he hated it, but what was he before? Why does this woman know this about him? Like, she's in charge of these experiments or something that they mentioned before. But she also said that the Amazons are appearing themselves.
Yeah, he's an Amazon, but there's something different about him that we don't know yet.
And she was, like, keeping him under lock and key. Like, I'm really interested to know where he was before this. Is he, like, the original Amazon?
Yeah, wouldn't that be crazy?
The one that they did the first experiments on? We don't know. We'll have to find out as the series goes along, and I'm excited.
We'll find out. It's a mystery that you give a fuck about, and not like, why do these guys want to take over the world?
I'm also very interested to know what the deal with Alpha is. Where did he get the belt? Why does he have access to all the squad teams, like intelligence and their communications and stuff? What is his deal? It's
good. I think Yasuko Kobayashi is one of those writers that doesn't work well under constraints, but if you just set her loose, she can do some cool stuff. That's why I think that's why her Sentai series are kind of weak.
Maybe there's a lot of constraints when it comes to Sentai.
Yeah, a lot more, I think, in terms of. But yeah, this Amazon's is fucking sick. I hope it stays good.
Yeah, me too. Interestingly enough, her Sentai series aren't as good as her Rider series, but the Extermination Squad could make an amazing Sentai group.
Oh yeah, I would love that.
They each have very distinct personalities already, and you're interested to learn more about them.
And they feel like a group of friends. You know, they rip on each other. They're pals. They drink together. They talk about what they're gonna do with their weekend.
Yeah, they're very protective of the youngest guy amongst them.
They're rounded characters.
Even one of them is not very protective of him, and is kind of a bitch, but she's doing it jokingly.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's a cool show. I really like this show.
Me too. What more can I say? I like it a lot.
I think we've said our piece about Amazons. Go watch it if you haven't watched it, even though we've given away everything.
Yeah, holy shit. Go check it out.
It's really fucking good. Overtime has subs of it, and that happened really fucking quickly.
I was really worried. I thought we were gonna have to wait forever for people to be like, oh, who's gonna pick it up? Maybe this guy, maybe this guy. No, Overtime just scooped it up. Hey, we'll do it. Okay, sick. Thanks, Overtime.
Thank you.
I was not expecting that.
It happened so fast, too.
Yeah.
I guess they were really excited about it, too.
Yeah, well, good. It's a fucking great show.
And anybody who bitches about Overtime taking so long to put Ghost out, would you want to be the one to sub Ghost?
I put off watching Ghost as long as possible. I can't imagine having to work on the show.
We get together at night and do this podcast, and I watch this show. I watch Ghost directly before we get together. I finish it and then I leave to get together.
11th hour.
It's fresh in my mind, but then I can get it out right afterwards.
Shit.
How about some emails before we
I'm ready for some email. What do you got?
Alright, our first email is from Kelsey.
Mm-hmm.
Kelsey says, "Hey guys, I've been an on and off listener for your show, and this is my first time sending in an email, but I think you're very entertaining with interesting things to say. I really liked your stuff with Drive."
Thanks.
I appreciate that. They say that they liked the special. That they were entertaining and harmless specials in the past, but the crossover last week was weak as shit.
Okay. Yeah, I can deal with that.
I wanted to give a little bit of their opinion since they wrote a decent amount for us.
Yeah.
As for my question for you guys, which writer, mainstay or new, would you want to write a future Kamen Rider series? Does not have to be attached to Kamen Rider. And who would you want to? Who would you never want to write a Rider series?
We talked about this a little before the episode, and I had to look because I don't know writers' names. I just had to think, like, if I didn't check, it would have been the guy who wrote X, or whoever wrote whatever. But I have a name now, and it's Jinzo Toriumi. He was the head writer on Gatchaman, the original Gatchaman show.
Oh, shit. You took my answer. I gave you that answer.
And it seems like he would, write a Sentai team, right?
Yeah.
But I would like to see him try his hand at Rider. He's dead, by the way. He can't write Rider, but I think it would be neat to have like a Rider, even if it was like a sort of Gatchaman style where it's like a secret agent squad of Riders
sick.
Who are, coming into conflict more often than say Gatchaman did. I think that would be a really neat, interesting show.
Gatchaman came into conflict all the time, but it was just Joe being an asshole.
It was just Joe being Joe.
Joe being a fucking prick. I like Joe, but...
I love Joe. He got into Tatsunoko versus Capcom for a reason. Yeah, he's one of the best.
So did it was 3 out of 5, and the kid and the fat guy didn't get in. That's it.
Yeah, well, fuck those two. You don't need,
like
you
the
need
kid.
Ken,
I like
Jun,
the
and
fat
Joe.
guy. I don't like the kid. But...
Yeah. Funny enough, Jetman was a huge... Like, they had a lot of stuff in common. There was a fat owl.
Yeah.
The leader was an eagle. There was a condor, a black condor, who was like the dude. There was a pink swan lady.
Yeah, it's pretty 1-to-1, really.
Yeah, they ripped it off like crazy.
Gatchaman is the shit.
Yeah, Gatchaman is so cool.
I didn't have a lot of time to think about this answer since Liam stole mine.
I didn't know you were going to pick Jinzo as well.
I didn't look up the name, so you deserve it more than me.
Yeah.
Just thinking about it, the person I think who already has an interest in Kamen Rider, that would be... There are two, actually, that would be really amazing to see write Kamen Rider. One is the creator of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Hirohiko Araki.
Oh my god, that would be fucking insane.
They already transformed by posing, so he's fucking in.
He's set, yeah.
He likes Kamen Rider anyway. So
of course, yeah.
I think that would be a perfect fit. He could do some crazy-ass shit with Rider abilities.
Yeah. Oh my god, yeah, that'd be weird as hell. I would love that.
I don't know what the fuck would happen in it. Like, vampires, maybe.
It would gotta be about vampires and someone trying to steal an inheritance. And...
He would just rewrite JoJo.
just rewrite JoJo with riders instead of ripples and
he would
stands
do, like,
and shit.
all 8 parts, but, like, in one season of Kamen Rider.
That would be the show, the like, fucking the Bizarro Kamen Rider where the plot just moves at a breakneck speed constantly for 50 episodes.
And I'm sure I'll get flack for this, but I want to see this just for, like, the balls-out fucking nuts episodes that would come out of this. Like, the storyline would be insane. I want to see Hideo Kojima do a Kamen Rider series. He is a huge Kamen Rider fan.
Yeah.
So if you don't know who Kojima is, how?
He made Metal Gear, but he always...
made all the Metal Gear games and Psychonauts. Just kidding.
Yeah.
Police
Zone
Knots.
of the Enders. Police Knots, that's the one.
Police
Snatcher.
Knots and Snatcher.
Yeah, and a few others. Some game about a penguin before Metal Gear.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
And he always tweets like buying box sets of Kamen Rider and buying figures of the original Kamen Rider one. So he'd make like a Showa style thing probably, but with more, I don't know, more government intrigue. It'd be neat.
Wouldn't that be neat? There's like a Kamen Rider 1971, like a book series, and it's never been translated. But it has, like, political intrigue and stuff in it. Like, the government is involved. Like, there's an anti-Shocker group in the government, and their goal is almost more heinous than Shocker's goal.
Oh.
and like Kamen Rider realizes that the anti-Shocker group is evil as well, and like has to stop them too. I think that would be right up Kojima's alley. Also, it would fall apart at the end.
It would if it was anything like the way Metal Gear went, it would be like a fucking slideshows towards the last 5 episodes. Just people telling slideshows that's just huge dumping of exposition all
They
over
would
the
just
place.
have 2 characters sit in a room with shot reverse shot and just have them talk at each other for the last 20 episodes.
You played Metal Gear Solid 4, right?
Yes.
Did you? Oh my god, that game is so bad about exposition. Like it's literally you'll have a cutscene and it'll play a slideshow where someone explains something to you really long, some plot, and then you walk up a flight of stairs, and that's when you get to interact, kid. And then
The end of
another
Metal Gear Solid
slideshow.
2 is similar, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Where, like, you walk down a fucking hallway and you get, like, a 20-minute speech.
Yeah, but you gotta sneak down those hallways.
Yeah.
MGS4's ending is an hour long.
Yeah,
It's
it
like an
actually
hour
got
and 40
clocked in
minutes.
as an hour long.
It's like with all the monologues and all the cutscenes, it's like an hour and 40 minutes is the ending cutscene.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Is there any writer that you would never want to write a Kamen Rider series?
Shoji Onomura, he does the crossover movies.
Oh my fuck. Yeah,
He did
get
Heisei
him out of
versus
here.
Showa. I hope he never touches the TV show. He can stay in the movies where I don't have to deal with him as much. He wrote Kabuto, but that was a long time ago. I think he's lost something since then. But yeah, I wouldn't ever want him to write a show.
You know who I would never want to write Kamen Rider?
Who?
Kishimoto, the guy that does Naruto.
I would want him to do one
Shit
season.
would just fucking go on forever. It'd be like an 88 episode series, and like the main character would be pointless through most of it.
Every shitty anime cliche you've ever heard about happens in Naruto, and it would happen in this as well, and I would love it.
Oh my god, no. Naruto is a fucking train wreck. Just because you can't look away from
so
it doesn't mean it's good.
It's so bad. I can't believe I read the whole fucking thing.
I stopped.
now-
I stopped
now I
around
can
fucking...
say-
He defeated Pain, and I was done.
Oh man, you got pretty far into the bad
Yeah.
stuff, but the real bad stuff is later.
Thank God I got
It gets
out.
worse, yeah. But now I can say I got a little t-shirt that says, I finished Naruto, I survived.
Yeah, it's shit smeared.
I didn't do the real Iron Man run where you watch the anime with all the filler, but I got through the manga.
Kelsey answers her own questions and says, personally, I'd like to see Konaka, the writer of Digimon Tamers and Ultraman Gaia, take a gander with Rider. And
I love Digimon Tamers.
And I don't want Orobuchi to ever write another Rider show.
Wow.
I understand
Get
that
off.
it was his first time writing a live-action show, but I'm very salty about Gaim's overall story and pacing.
Wow.
I actually really
I
like
disagree.
Gaim.
I disagree vehemently.
Yeah,
thought
I
that was
disagree
great.
as well, but everybody's entitled to their own opinion.
Everybody, you gotta always say that with the Kamen Rider fan base.
It's funny that nobody else but us ever says that. Everybody else is like, what? You don't like what I like? What are you, a fucking idiot?
Constantly remind them. It's okay to not like things, if that's the way you are.
Our next email is from Belf.
Okay.
What up, Belf?
Hey, Belf.
He said, fuck you guys.
Oh.
I have very indifferent...
Well, that's a fine how do you do.
I have very indifferent opinions about the podcast. But my
Okay.
question is, since Amazon's exists, assume John Toei lets you write a current Kamen Rider show and put it into a subscription-based service to appeal to adults. What show do you butcher? My personal answer is Blade.
Okay, so this is like an adaptation?
I guess
Like where
this
we
question can go a lot of different ways. Like, you're
Okay.
taking the concept and rewriting it into a 13-episode show for adults.
Yeah,
What do you
that's
choose
what I
and
meant.
how do you do?
I've said this before, but I think Kabuto has really good Western appeal, as like it's got cool suits of armor.
Well, this
and they
doesn't
fight-
have to be like a Western thing.
I know, but like that's it's cool, right? It's not a really silly concept or difficult to grasp.
Yeah.
The base concept is like there's these aliens, and you could probably play up this fact if you want to make it a little more violent. Is they fucking kill you and steal your whole life, which is
Yeah.
really fucked up. You could play that in a
could
lot
be
of
like
different
a
ways.
really good horror angle.
Like you could be like you could have a character who's just like married for like 30 years and he finds out his wife's been a worm for like 10 of them or something really messed up like
Yeah.
that. There's a lot of fucked up shit you could do with the worms. And at the same time, you have really cool suits of armor that I think, people like Iron Man and stuff like that. You have stuff like that. I think Kabuto would work really well.
You could do like what was the name of that movie? Creep Show? Maybe that was the name of it?
What movie was it?
There's a movie where this guy, like, marries this woman. He, like, sees a gargoyle monster the night he meets this woman, and then he marries her and they have kids. And it turns out that his wife is the fucking gargoyle monster, and his kids are gargoyle monsters.
That's awesome.
Like, imagine that with a worm. Like, your wife is like, "Oh, children, we have to tell him." And the children and her both turn into worms.
That could be their plan, is like the worm planet is uninhabitable, they go to Earth and reproduce, just do like one generation with humans, and then the children rise up and kill all the humans, and that's their plan that the Kabuto is trying to stop.
You mean enemies can have real plans in Kamen Rider?
Wow.
They're not just gonna take over Earth?
Yeah. No, apparently. Well, I mean, they are just gonna take over Earth, but like...
Look, we got one planet. We got the Ghost Realm. We got one planet. Fuck that, we need 2 planets.
Yeah, one planet just... People are dying all the time. We don't have room here.
We need 2 planets.
There's like fucking a million new people here every day. We don't have that many pods.
Is the Ghost Realm really where people go when they die?
No, because Ghost isn't about ghosts.
Yeah, it's like just another dimension that some fucking old man that can't act founded with his children.
I can't act, I might as well try and create another dimension. That's my secondary career
anyway,
choice.
fuck Ghost.
Fuck Ghost.
So that's your answer is Kabuto.
Okay, what's next?
I don't have an answer yet, motherfucker.
Oh, I forgot about Jeff like I always do. What do you want?
I would adapt Kuga. I'd just cut out the filler.
Oh, yeah.
That's it. I would leave it exactly the same otherwise.
Kuga's already fucked up enough as it is.
Yeah, I'd leave it exactly the same otherwise.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Although I think Drive could actually be turned into a more adult-style series. Like a Knight Rider kind of thing.
Oh.
Like, I feel like it has all the trappings of... it could be made super easily into like a cop procedural, like a police procedural.
Yeah,
and you could
like
just add like the transforming behind the scenes thing.
Yeah. I think that'd be neat.
And like a Robot Uprising is always popular with adults.
Yeah. What do people like? Police cops.
That's a reference.
Hey.
So that's your answer. Hope you enjoyed.
Yeah. Thank you.
Those are all the emails we had this time, but we had a few questions from Twitter.
All right,
so this is proving that we could fucking answer questions from Twitter, so stop bitching.
We did it this week.
Our first question is from @ExceedSpeed, and it's a very philosophical question. Okay. It's, at its very core, what is a Kamen Rider to you?
What is a Kamen Rider, or what is Kamen Rider?
What is a Kamen Rider?
Oh my god.
At its very core.
Well, I thought a lot about this question. I saw it a few days ago, and I've been thinking about it for a few days. And really, like, at the very, very core, a Kamen Rider is a guy who transforms, or like a person who transforms. And I think that's really, like, that's the beauty of it. Because, like, a Kamen Rider can be anything. You just have to transform. And you can have any sort of personality, you can espouse any sort of values, you can do anything. You just have to transform, and you get that Kamen Rider title.
I think that's what Heisei did for Kamen Rider, really. It opened it up to be anything.
Yeah.
You don't have to be a hero of justice to be a Kamen Rider in the New Age. You can be a fucking serial killer who eats shit for sustenance.
Literally, yeah, who eats poopy out of a toilet. You can, yeah.
That could be who you are, and you could be a Kamen Rider.
In the Showa era, being a Kamen Rider meant a lot more, but in the Heisei era, it's like... pretty much anything, but I think again, I think that's kind of the beauty of it. Is it's so open.
Transformation is at the key of what being a Kamen Rider means.
Yeah,
there's something to be said for Kamen Rider being about the difference between having power and not having power, and switching back and forth between that.
Oh yeah,
being a human in your human form, you're fucking weak as shit and you get tossed around, but you transform into a more powerful form. And that's always kind of clicked with children, because children are weak as shit and really easy to kill.
Yeah, I push them a lot. It's pretty easy.
They can't do anything about it. it goes back to, like, when Superman was insanely popular, like, back in the 40s. Or in the 30s. He was, like, insanely
30s
popular.
and 40s, really.
Yeah, he's still somewhat popular. Kids hate him.
He
But
is dead as a cultural icon now, but I mean,
whatever.
he's still around.
Anyway.
They're still playing with a zombie up in Hollywood. But...
Anyway, in the 30s, Superman was new, and kids fucking ate it up. They were putting their 5-cent pieces up to get the new adventure of Superman, like, left and right. And Fawcett Comics was like, let's get in on this shit. Let's straight up rip this shit off. And they made Captain Marvel.
Oh, yeah.
Captain Marvel was a straight up ripoff of Superman, except he had magic powers instead of alien powers. But the key difference was Superman's secret identity was Clark Kent, nerd, and Captain Marvel's secret identity was a fucking child, like the reader.
Billy Batson, yeah.
So that transformation into being a superhero was awesome, and kids were like, holy shit, if I find a creep in a subway, an old man who asked me to come to a place with him, he could give me superpowers. And everybody loved him.
It makes it easier to picture yourself in that role.
Yeah, and that's what Kamen Rider does, really. Like, and maybe that's why so many Kamen Rider protagonists are like, or Heisei protagonists are like weak pussies. Because children are also weak.
That's what John Toei thinks about you listening to this podcast right now.
And you see, not just children, like, even as adults, you can't fight a monster. If a monster showed up, you're fucking dead, kid. Deal with it.
You're one of the guys who's running away while plastic chairs are being batted around. That's your role.
That's also our role, so don't feel bad.
Yeah.
But that transformation is what makes a Heisei Rider, I think. Whether you're a fucking asshole who wants to murder people because they didn't save you a seat in the cafeteria at lunch, or whether you want to be a hero of justice, there's a chance that you could be a Kamen Rider. And I think that's the basic portent of what a Kamen Rider is in the modern day.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Back in the day, it was all about being a hero of justice and standing against tyranny. But fuck that.
Fuck fighting for freedom and justice.
Fuck all that normie shit.
I would like to be a Kamen Rider so that I can murder people in new and interesting ways. That's my way.
You could be a Kamen Rider in Heisei.
Oh boy! Speaking of Ryuki, there was a scene in the remember the scene where they destroy the porcupine monster last week.
Yes.
In Ghost. That takes place in the exact same place where Kamen Rider Scissor gets fucking killed.
Yeah, it does. Holy shit, you're right.
It's the same arches where he gets eaten by his own monster.
Toei reusing locations.
Always with you cheapskates.
There's only so many places in Tokyo.
What else we got?
Our next question is from @RavnusL.
Okay.
He says, since you guys started watching Zyuohger, would you consider watching and discussing Garo as well?
No.
Damn, cold-blooded.
It's not that I'm not interested in Garo, it's just that the podcast... We have 3 shows right now.
Yeah, the 3rd show came out of nowhere, so Garo could be something that we could do in the future.
Yeah,
like
maybe in the future.
If the next Sentai series is shit, because I don't really see Zyuohger going downhill anytime soon.
I think the Super Sentai Second is going to be a 50-episode series.
Yeah, and if the next Sentai is shit, we might do Garo instead. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see.
It's like
play by ear.
It's like a might. And I mean, Amazon's is only 13 episodes, so after 13 episodes, we'll be back down to 2 things a show.
Yeah, maybe we'll do Garo then.
It's something that we can discuss amongst ourselves, but there's no fucking promises.
Well, don't expect anything. Don't get your hopes up.
Sorry. I'm sure other podcasts talk about Garo.
There's got to be a Garo Club radio somewhere out there.
Are there other Tokusatsu podcasts?
I don't know. Are there other Tokusatsu fans?
Does anybody listen to this show?
What's the next question, Jeff?
Our next question is from Fripside IIO.
Oh, Jesus, that's a long name.
They say, do you like card games? And I put this on here just for you, Liam.
I fucking hate Magic the Gathering.
Liam used to play Magic the Gathering.
In middle school, I played Magic the Gathering, and it ate up all my money, so I stopped. and my friends all stopped too a little while after, and then we were all in like last year university, and one of my friends found like an old box of his cards, and they all got back into it, and they were like, Liam, you want to get back into it? And I was like, fuck that game. And so they all play Magic. Like every now and again they'll meet and go to some pre-release draft commander two-headed dragon thing without me.
Liam's friends are slowly slipping through his fingers.
Magic is stealing them from me, and the only way I can win is to join them.
Liam has to go to, like, fucking Magic the Gathering tournaments that his friends are all in, and he just sits there playing his DS.
I went to a Magic the Gathering tournament once that they went to, and I sat behind one of the guys, and I kept... One of my friends, I mean, it wasn't just some random dude, and I kept whispering into his ear that he was going to lose. And he lost every single game, so I think it worked.
What a fucking asshole!
They tried to kick me out because they thought I was like giving him encouragement, and they said that was an unfair advantage.
What?
But I was just telling him he was gonna lose. I was trying to shit all over him as much as possible and psych him out.
Wait a second. An unfair advantage for a player of Magic the Gathering is someone being like, "You can do it."
Yeah, his opponent complained to the store owner, was like, this gentleman, this proprietor, this character in your store is giving one of the players an unfair advantage. I don't have a cheerleader of my own.
I would have laughed like, right in that guy's face.
So yeah, Magic tournaments are pretty fun if
I
you
would
don't
have been the
play.
Proprietor of that store, and a guy came up to me and said, "Excuse me, sir, he's giving that man encouragement, and I don't have anyone," I'd be like, You'll get him. You'll do it, buddy. And I'd pat him on the shoulder and send him back.
You'll find someone someday, Skipper.
I would have gave him encouragement. I would have been like, you can do it.
It wasn't like a kid either. He was like 26.
Oh my god. That's sad.
I was giving him the mental advantage, okay? It's very...
So I guess the answer is no? You don't like card games?
No, I've been playing... No. I've been playing a bit of Pokemon on the Game Boy, the Pokemon card game recently.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
Does that count?
No.
That's a video game.
It's a video card game.
Well, people count, what the fuck is the name of that game? The World of Warcraft one. Hearthstone? Yeah.
Hearthstone, yeah.
People count Hearthstone as a card game, even though it's just a video game.
So I guess Pokemon counts too.
So,
no, but I hate
there
card
you
games.
have it. Liam hates card games unless it's on the Game Boy Color.
I hate cards. I hate card stock. I hate cardboard.
Shit. You just raised the earth for that fucking question. I hate it all.
Yeah.
I've never played a card game in my life. Not even once.
It's fun, but it gets to the point where, like, if you're not spending so much money to keep up, you fall behind, and then you start losing every game, and then your shit starts to stagnate, and then you're like, I can't do it anymore.
When I was a child, I bought the Pokemon trading card game starter pack.
Ooh.
The one that had the shiny, or the holographic Machamp.
Oh, Machamp, okay.
Yeah, it didn't have Charizard. Fuck, I wouldn't be doing this shitty podcast if I had a Charizard holographic.
Jeff would be living it up in Malibu if he had a holographic Charizard.
I bought that, and I fucking loved all the cards. They had great art on all of them, and one day...
I do like the art on those cards.
One day a kid came up to me and was like, "Oh my god, you have Pokemon cards? Do you want to play?" And I was like, "Play?" What? He was like, "Yeah, they're for a game, a card game." And I was like poker? And they tried to teach me, these kids tried to teach me how to play Pokemon card game, but I was too fucking mentally deficient to figure it out. And I never really learned.
If there was a Kamen Rider card game, I would try it out, at least. There probably is on
it's called Ganbarizing.
No, it's not a real card game, but I think there is one on like the Wonder Swan Color or something.
There you go.
Yeah, there we go. There's my next adventure in life, to find a fucking Wonder Swan Color.
Get your Wonder Swan Color out of the attic.
Yeah, I'll go dig up all of those Wonder Swans that I got.
Liam's house is made of Wonder Swan colors.
Yeah, it was a deal. It was quite a steal I got on this Wonder Swan house.
I think that's all the questions we have this week.
That's all the podcast we have this week.
Everybody should be hype at this point, because in 10 days, we're going to be putting on a stream for Kamen Rider J Day.
Oh boy, get ready.
Kamen Rider J Day is April 16th. We're going to be streaming Kamen Rider J and posting pictures of at least one of us planting a tree that day.
So that's the next Saturday after this one coming up.
Yeah, I'm planting a tree, and there will be photos of it. Not photos of me.
I can't wait. The photos of the tree, not of you.
Yeah, not of
planting
me.
the tree.
Photos of the tree.
They don't get to see your face.
Thank God.
Oh, that's a shame. Oh well.
I am hideous in a way like Medusa is hideous, so...
If you look at Jeff, you turn into Kamen Rider toys, and then he takes you back to his house.
That's where I got my collection from. So, please be excited. Also, recently, I've been streaming video games. So you guys could come and hang out. I do it randomly. I put it up on the Rider Club Radio Twitter at Rider Club Radio.
Hey, there you go.
We had a pretty good turnout. I think like total views during the one stream I did was like 51.
Really?
Yeah, people were coming in and out all night long.
Yeah.
I stream old games pretty much so far.
Goblins.
Yeah, Ghouls and Ghosts for the Super Nintendo.
Ghosts.
I had gotten to the halfway point of level 1 in my entire life. And then I started streaming it, and I'm on level 5.
Ooh.
So I need
Big
an
pro
audience
here.
to do good at video games.
Yeah, so keep an eye out. Watch some Twitch streams. I know you kids love those Twitch streams these days.
You guys
it's
love
so hot
them.
right now.
It's the number one thing on the internet.
We should Skype while you do that. I'll
Liam could
co-host.
co-host for me.
Yeah.
You guys
one of
like
these days.
Liam, right?
Yeah, right?
Right?
Here's where you put the cricket sound effect.
So yeah, you can follow us on Twitter at Rider Club Radio. You can see when we're going to stream some Rider stuff, or we're going to stream video games, or just talk to us. We like to discuss Rider.
Just someone talk to us, please.
Yeah, Jesus, we need friends.
Yeah.
I don't want to be stuck with Liam for the rest of my life.
Oh.
Or you could send us an email at riderclubradio@gmail.com, because we read your questions on the air.
Ooh, no caps, no spaces, no numbers, no underscores.
None of that shit.
None of that garbage.
Not at AOL.com, at gmail.com.
Gmail.
We're getting angry emails from Rider Club Radio at AOL.com. They're very angry.
They're protecting their brand, I understand. Check out our Google Plus page.
Fuck. I guess we do have one, don't we?
Oh yeah, because we have a Gmail.
Yeah,
You
I keep
technically have a
getting like
Google Plus.
notifications saying people follow us on Google Plus. I'm very
Literally-
sorry for all of you.
Literally check out our Google Plus page.
It doesn't. We don't do anything with it, so.
Oh, good night, everyone.
Thanks for listening to our podcast, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
我らはゲドン悪魔の使者だ敵はアマゾンただ一人倒せ殺せモンゴルドアマゾンライダーぶっ殺せアマゾン倒して腕輪を奪え右の腕輪は宝の鍵だアマゾン世界はゲドンのものだモンゴルゴルゴルモンゴルド俺は10面記ゲドンの頭敵はアマゾンただ一人倒せ殺せモンゴルドアマゾン